Hi friends, Ashley from Wildwoods&Homestead. Our summer has gone by way too quickly. Geoff and his dad have been clearing more land, cutting up the trees to be split and stacked for firewood. Much of it is laying on the ground right now to dry out so that we can haul the logs out for splitting. That will be our fuel this winter for heating our house, as well as our shop, greenhouse, and our water. I have some videos on their clearing process that I plan to share soon, as well as what we are planning on using the land for. With these beautiful late summer days, I am making it a point to get out and get sunlight, as we will soon be heading into shorter days and less sunlight. I find the sunlight helps so much with mood and sleep, so I try to get the baby out in it first thing. My older kids are typically already out and running around doing their own thing. Gabe has been learning woodworking with his grandfather, and I can typically find the two of them together in the shop working on various projects. In fact, as Gabe is learning these new woodworking skills, I've asked him if he could start learning how to make wooden spoons, and I'd like to get those put up in our online shop. I also have this wooden salt pot that I use in my kitchen every day, and it's so cute, as well as really convenient to have the salt out, and I've asked him if he could learn how to make those too, and I'll see if we can get those things up in the shop as well. We are also on the cusp of harvesting the garden and parts of the greenhouse. The greenhouse and garden are really blooming right now, and soon we'll be busy preserving this beautiful harvest. Something else as I harvest out the greenhouse is this year I am planning to plant a fall and winter garden out here. This will be the first year that I've ever done this, so I am really excited to see if we can keep a growing temperature in there that is conducive to growing, and I will share the process of that as well. As we start to harvest and preserve, I am really excited about this. It is still a little intimidating for me. I did not grow up learning to preserve a garden, and much of it is still new to me, even after 7 years of trying to grow food in our Zone 3 climate. We had struggled with many methods, and this is the first year I am seeing real results from our work. We are kind of settling on this no-till, layer, chop and drop method here. We never could afford equipment to clear these areas or to till, so we have slowly been clearing and adding material to this area by hand year after year. And after doing that for so many years, along with the manure and bedding from our animals, I find that the beds are really loomy and fertile. We are getting a good carrot harvest this year. Our potatoes are looking very promising. I planted dried beans this year for winter, and those are coming along nicely. Our squash, zucchini, and pumpkins are beginning to ripen, and those are things that I have always struggled to grow. It has been a really good feeling seeing our hard work come to fruition. I have some food preservation videos coming up, as well as a start to finish video of our spring garden to fall from this year, and I'm excited to get those put together, edited, and published. So if you're interested in any of that, stay tuned, or if you're just interested in gardening in a difficult climate. I am also doing a lot of the preserving without a pressure canner, as I don't currently have a pressure canner. That is something I do plan to incorporate in my kitchen sometime, but this is just not the year for that. So I will be doing a lot of water bath canning, freezing, as well as drying. So I do have some ideas to share, and I will get those started soon as we start to bring things in from the garden. We are also on the brink of birthday season, as we call it. Several of us are grouped together for birthdays for the next few weeks, so we have a lot of cake and celebratory foods in our near future. This weekend, our Gideon is turning 5, and he wanted his big sister to teach him how to make French toast, which I briefly showed at the beginning of this video. He and I put together our famous big family coleslaw, and I'm planning to roast some chickens and make him a cake on his birthday. I have shared this coleslaw recipe in a few other videos. It is just a quintessential summer picnic food in my opinion, and I have written a recipe out for my other videos, but I admit that when I make this, I don't follow a recipe. I generally just kind of put the things in the bowl and whisk them as I get to the consistency that I want. So I have found this brand, this Chosen Foods mayo, to be the, I guess, cleanest mayo that I can find. I can't always make our mayo. So when I am not making our mayo, I will use this Chosen Foods. I will just use an entire jar of it for our situation. I add a little bit of apple cider vinegar to that, some organic sugar, or I have used honey, and I also have used maple syrup to sweeten it as well. I will then do a little bit of mustard, some salt and pepper to taste, and then I will thin the dressing a little bit with olive oil. This is also a great base dressing for salads. You could add lemon juice instead of apple cider vinegar. You could add dill, for example. We add yogurt and spices sometimes to create a ranch dressing, and I can share that sometime, as well as how we use that in the salads that we make. We also have our annual fair in our small town, and we are taking the kids to the parade and rides this weekend. That usually lands around or on Gideon's birthday, and I think he's come to believe that it's there for him. So we're all looking forward to that. I'm also making some sweet tea to go with Gideon's birthday meal, and I'm just using some organic green tea that I purchase in bulk, along with our homemade Ivan chai home heart. We harvest this tea. Ivan chai is a fermented fireweed tea. We have fireweed in abundance here in Alberta, and we harvest the leaves every year, wash them, allow them to wilt, then we roll the leaves and ferment them for a few days before drying them and storing them for winter. Fireweed is something that often comes up after a forest fire. Some call it a healing weed for the land, but it also contains a lot of nutrients that become more bioavailable when you ferment it. This makes a great hot tea for winter, or iced tea like I'm making here, and I also use this tea to make kombucha. I do plan to share some videos and recipes on that in the future, but for this sweet tea, I am just steeping a little over a gallon of tea, adding some organic sugar. Once the sugar is dissolved and the tea is cooled, I just pour it into gallon jars, store it in the fridge. The next day, I'll then pour this tea over ice into some glass pitchers and then serve it buffet style for Gideon's birthday meal. This is something I have started since we found a lot of us reacting to natural flavors in juices and drinks. Plus, I just find it is far more economical and healthy to just buy or harvest my own tea ingredients and use that to make our cold summer drinks at home. In my last video, I shared a material restock glimpse, and I'm so excited to have new packaging for some of my products, and I plan to share how I'm using those in this video. But in this video, I just shared a few glimpses into my favorite shampoo bar that I recently sold out of. This is my Dead Sea Clay shampoo bar, and I find that adding clays to my shampoo bars creates a cleansing, kind of softening shampoo. The clay is said to grab onto like the oils and the dirt in the hair. And that just leaves it feeling really light and soft, but the clay still adds nourishing elements that it has, and that keeps the hair from feeling stripped and dry. So I really love that bar, and I will have more of those bars in the shop in about 4 weeks. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. Now I'm just sharing some of the packaging that I recently had arrive, and I love these tins. They are so beautiful. When we started packaging and selling online, I began to worry with every package that we sent out that my lotion bars and cast iron skillet bars might melt or get squished, as I knew I couldn't control the environment that they would be in throughout shipping. So I asked Geoff to look around for tins. And I think these black tins for my cast iron skillet bar are really sophisticated and kind of, I guess, streamlined. I wasn't sure how to clean them as I was concerned about them rusting. So in this video, I'm just wiping them down with some alcohol and then allowing those to fully dry before packaging the bars inside of them. I think too that this will be a convenient storage place for the bar as it's being used in the kitchen. I now have more of these up in the shop, and I will put a link to that listing in the description box. I'm also just sharing a glimpse into my soap labeling process. It is very tedious and uninteresting, but I love the design of these labels. I designed them a few years ago, and as I started looking into soap memberships, and we created a website and different social media outlets for advertising, Geoff really just ramped up the design to add all of our information. And I think they just look so professional, but it still holds that handmade charm because that's what we are selling. Small batch, handmade, everything that we ourselves use, create, and I love that. And now I am just labeling my hair conditioner bars. I decided to go ahead and keep these in parchment bags because I think a tin would rust in a shower or a bathroom setting. While we want to incorporate pretty packaging, we also want it to be useful, and anywhere that we can use less expensive packaging, we are trying to do that so that we can keep our products priced reasonably well for anyone to afford. So I decided to continue with parchment packaging for my hair conditioner bars. We also had to change the label on our hair conditioner bars because we had a lot of customers contacting us asking how to use it. We originally only had a small round label with ingredients and no directions. So we decided to use our larger soap labels and add directions on the back, and we hope that that helps anyone who purchases our conditioner bars to get the most out of their product. have a lot of products and videos coming up sharing our continued homesteading journey along with recipes and just how we do things with a large family. We hope that you find something of value for you, whether it is in our products or content, so stay tuned for more. For today, thank you for joining us, and we so appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.